Hi, this is Asa, and welcome to my audio experience. Remember, if the body can get sick, it can also get well. It's all about lifestyle. It's about the choices that we make every single day. Why? Because they can determine the kind of health we're going to have tomorrow. Let's go to Nancy. Hi, Nancy.
And what it is like I have a sciatic flare. A little bit of discomfort from it. Could be worse, though, but I was wondering if maybe give me a few pointers or something like that on how to manage it and maybe how to prevent it.
Well, with sciatica, the sciatic nerve is the largest nerve in the body, okay? And it runs through a region, through your gluteal region, okay? And with that, the little piriformis muscle can start spasming. It's this little muscle that wraps around the nerve. I really have seen, a lot of people will do kind of the muscle relaxers and anti-inflammatories, and that can settle it down. So that's your Band-Aid, okay? But to really get to the root cause of it, a lot of times there is a dispositioning of the pelvis, the hips. The lower back can shift and get positioned in a way that can really affect the overall posture of the body. And when that happens, and say people sit a lot, maybe they drive 5-6 hours, truckers are always in their cars, or maybe you sit at a desk all day and your posture and position is a certain way for how you have to work on the computer, whatever it might be. Over time, that can create issues within the spine, the lower back, and that can really create a challenge for the sciatic area. So you want to do everything you can to get that area, have the most motion, to keep the spine and the lower back healthy, the disc healthy in those areas. So what I found is chiropractic care is really, visiting a chiropractor is great. Chiropractic physicians, well trained in this area. I think probably the best. Now, osteopathic physicians work on this as well, and physical therapists do as well. But, from a non-surgical perspective, the most training for this really is with the chiropractic physician. And you can get, evaluation, get checked out. Typically, that's a great way to go. But you have to also address the inflammatory process too now. So you can use anti-inflammatories. Those are pretty much recommended, pretty much as standard of care in medicine. But there's some natural alternatives too you can look into. So, there's a great product called Amino Active, and you can check them out at aminoactive.com. But Amino Active is basically, it uses amino acids. That's where they get the name. So those are proteins. These proteins interact with certain homeopathic ingredients to create a non-toxic, extremely safe, non-addictive anti-inflammatory. And it's incredible at what it does. And it can help break down the proteins that create more of the inflammation. So it really gets to the root of the situation, more so than just dealing with the symptoms and being a Band-Aid for it. So although anti-inflammatories get rid of the inflammation, they do work, and the mechanisms of action are really, really amazing. You've got options. That works really, really fast. Then you've got a natural option you can look at too. So look at those and make the best choice for you. But don't forget that those are supplements and medications. You have to look at your overall lifestyle too. So maybe not sitting as much at work. Maybe it's standing at your desk, or you create a different desk situation. Or if it's driving, you stop every, they did a study, and if you stop every 5 minutes, stop once an hour for 5 minutes and walk around, then it negates a lot of the pressure and a lot of the negative issues from sitting all the time. So it increases blood flow. There's no undue pressure within the arteries. There's a lot of great issues. So people that sit a lot have to deal with the potential for blood clots and all that. Well, they've done studies, and they found that taking just 5 minutes every hour can decrease, and it eliminates it like you didn't even sit for an hour. So if we can start doing that on a regular basis, it really does make a big, big difference. And with sciatic pain, you've got to look at it chemically from the inside of what's happening, and also the outside. 888-283-7272. Give us a call or go to the website. Your favorite body wash might be danger to the environment. It's true. So a lot of advertisements talk about the no more blackheads and the clear pores in a lot of these beauty products. But it's about these little things called microbeads. You might have seen them. They're little teeny tiny balls of plastic the average consumer is likely to be a daily user of microbead containing products, and they really come on the scene very strongly. However, they're tough on the environment. So the microbeads are little microplastics. They're very small balls of plastic. And over the past 10 years, they've become increasingly popular among producers of personal care products and as a gentler alternative, really, to natural exfoliants such as walnut shells. And recently, there's more than 100 products containing the microbeads on the U.S. store shelves, so they become very, very popular. So again, it's a lot of plastic junk that's getting dumped out. It's getting into the water supply. It's getting into the, of course, the marine system, the oceans. And they do have contaminants like PCBs and the polychlorinated biphenyls. So that this plastic absorbs these chemicals, which, again, the negative impacts we know for sure. And this is from all the studies that are done, Environmental Working Group, all of that talks about the immune system, the reproductive system, the nervous system, and the endocrine system in a lot of the animals. So that a lot of the tiny microbeads can be eaten by marine organisms. Of course, your plankton, your fish, seabirds, and all these, they ingest them, whether they mean to or not. And, of course, that gets into the flesh and gets into contaminating a lot of the fish. And that's where we have to get concerned, because that's what we eat. So, again, what's being done to help? There's a little bit of, I guess, of a foundational effort to come in and look at this. There's an actual campaign. So Unilever, which is a company that said they would stop using plastics of all kind in its products, and Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson, Colgate, and L'Oreal have also made pledges to fade all these microbeads out of the products in 2015, which is great. So a lot of the efforts and the initiatives to do that is good, but what you can do is not use the products and at least keep it out of the waterways, put it in the trash, and not using it so much to go down the sink. I don't really know how you do that. I guess you could kind of wash your face over a trash can, but it seems like it'd be a little bit extreme. But at the same time, do everything you can to keep it out of the environment. More importantly, for all of us. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to chow? It's time for Keto Chow. When it comes to eating healthy, the keto diet has become one of the nutrition leaders in optimizing health, losing unwanted weight, and reaching your health and wellness goals. No extravagant cooking, no long kitchen cleanup, and most importantly, especially for me, it's convenient. Just put quality Keto Chow powder in a bottle, add some heavy whipping cream or your favorite fat, a little water, and boom, shake it up and you're ready to chow. Keto Chow tastes amazing. So make Keto Chow easy for you and your family today with Keto Chow. Let's go chow. Visit Keto Chow online at ketochow.xyz. That's ketochow.xyz.
To find out more, visit the show online, InShapeNetwork.com.
Welcome back to the show. A lot of people struggle with acid reflux. They call it GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease. And I mean, it's really, really common. We've seen it. I think I've seen it more and more now than in many years past. But there's a lot of facts that I want to talk about with acid reflux, and so much that can be done about it, even naturally, to really help and get in and make a difference. So let's get into that for just a minute. So acid reflux, of course, it occurs when stomach acid flows back upward into the esophagus. And the esophagus, of course, is the structure that connects the throat to the stomach. It's a little tube that does that. And basically, so a lot of people that have acid reflux are surprised to learn, really, that you have acid reflux without traditional complaint of heartburn. So you can actually have that without having any pains whatsoever. So here's some other facts that go along with it. Acid reflux affects about 60 million Americans. That's just quite a few, actually. So classically, acid reflux was thought to be a disease affecting white males over 50. But it no longer is true. Really, it affects every race, gender, and adult group. There's two types of the reflux disease. There's heartburn reflux, in which the main complaint is heartburn, and throat burn reflex, in which the main complaint is a chronic cough, frequent throat clearing, hoarseness, and a lump-like sensation in the throat. So throat burn is acid reflux without any heartburn complaints. Okay, the medical term for heartburn reflux is GERD. It's gastroesophageal reflux disease, and the medical term for throat burn reflux is LPR, or laryngopharyngeal reflux. That is a mouthful, for sure. So it can lead to more serious issues. The biggest is what's called Barrett's esophagus, and the biggest with that is, of course, it can affect anything from the stomach, the lungs, vocal cords, throat, but untreated, it changes the actual cells within the esophagus, and it goes from just normal, healthy cells to cancer cells, and that can happen over a period of time, and that's why it has to be treated so readily. So you want to avoid acidic foods if you do have acid reflux, and I'll tell you some natural things too. I mean, there's quite a bit you can do, but you do want to avoid the acidic foods, the caffeine, the chocolate, the alcohol, tomatoes, onion, garlic, even the healthy foods. I mean, honey has a lot of acidic properties, and so does some of the berries themselves. They can trigger some of this, even though they tend to be more alkaline foods. They can still trigger it. So some other acidic foods to be concerned about, a lot of the grains. So the breads, the pastas, cereals, crackers. A low-acid, high-fiber diet is really what's recommended. So all three macronutrients can reduce inflammation. So you want to make sure you get good, lean-quality protein sources, okay, and then low-glycemic carbohydrates, and then your fruits and vegetables, getting everything into balance. So the diagnosis typically, I mean, your doctor comes in and they'll do some basic testing, and the traditional way is to put the camera in and guide it past the throat and the esophagus. Of course, the camera goes to the back, creates the gag reflex, which is not fun at all, but you make it through it. And then going through the nose, you can also do it that way. The bypass is the back of the mouth, and the gag reflex is not stimulated that way, the T&E, and they can go in and take a look at it. So, again, you really don't need IV sedation. Sometimes you do with going down through the throat itself with a gag reflex, but some people just take it and they just deal with it and let the camera go down. It's interesting though, because so many people do struggle with it, but naturally there are some things you can do. I really have seen a lot of people get good results coming off of a lot of those foods, such as we talked about, like the grains, the dairy products. That does make a difference. But then also making sure that you've got the right enzymes and everything that you need from the digestive perspective. I mean, proteolytic enzymes help break down proteins. They do really well. Then you got, of course, regular plant-based enzymes that help with a lot of the carbohydrates. But having the right digestive properties and eating the right kind of foods, sticking with, you can slightly cook your foods, but making sure that you're getting plenty of fruits and vegetables. There's so many live enzymes in our food supply that make a big difference in how food's processed and how our bodies handle them. Extremely, extremely important to get the right kind of foods in, and then using whole food supplementation to help as well. If you're dealing with this level of GERD, it's important to have those and utilize them. And even I keep enzymes with me even when I travel. So, of course, when I'm at home, I can control a lot of my food. But when you're out, you've got restaurants. I mean, you can tell them to not cook it in this and cook it in that. And they do the best they can, but there are properties in there that could be tough for your body to break down. And so it's good to take those probiotics for sure. When you're traveling, it can make a big difference in your overall digestive system until you get back into your normal routine. But yeah, I mean, GERD is a big deal. A lot of people struggle with it. Look at apple cider vinegar too. It is very, very important. A lot of naturopaths and alternative practitioners have been recommending apple cider vinegar for reflux many, 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 many years, and tend to get really, really good results with it. 888-283-7272. Lines are open with questions about your health. You can give us a call or go to the website. And if you're looking for a lifestyle provider, someone in your area that believes the same way we do, you can check out the website, see one of our team members, and find them along the way. Easy to find right here on our show. Let's go to Janet. Hi, Janet.
I'm calling about H. pylori. I want to know the best ways I can treat it with my diet. That's a condition I have.
Well, the H. pylori, there's pretty much standard of care. using the medications and using antibiotics. But with H. pylori too, there's some natural remedies that have been known to be helpful. I really recommend, though, that you talk with your physician. I do. It's important because H. pylori can cause a lot of issues in the body. And if it's not treated regularly and eliminated quickly, then it can cause some challenges. So, but the old one that's given is bismuth. Now, this is kind of the old remedy. If you've ever heard of Pepto-Bismol, well, they get the word bismol from bismuth that's actually in it. And I have seen a lot of family doctors in my world actually use bismuth salts, or they use Pepto-Bismol along with the treatment plan to help kill off the H. pylori because it's so strong at working against that bacteria. So you might want to ask your physician about that. It's been used quite a bit. Some docs still don't recommend it. It just kind of falls off the radar because it's so old school. But it really does work hand in hand with a lot of the treatment therapies that they use with the antibiotic treatments. And don't forget, probiotics are really, really important as well. You got to have the good bacteria that comes back in and helps to build everything back up. That is a really important piece of it. So having that done on a regular basis can make a big difference, and you want to focus on that. And it's typical rule of thumb to get the body where it needs to be. But yeah, it takes time. But if you got a good routine going, then it can build it up. 888-283-7272. Lines are open with questions about your health. You can give us a call or go to the website. Now, our food of the day that I like to talk about today is, of course, you know me. Food, I believe, can be our best medicine in so many ways, and it really can. I mean, whether it's an herb or a vegetable or a healthy fat, whatever it might be, can come into your body as much as the wrong kind of foods can break your body down. The right kind of foods can come in and really build it up and bring health and bring life to the body. And that's what I want to talk about. So this herb has been used for a long, long time. Matter of fact, the Cherokee Indians use this in a lot of their routines for any kind of digestive issues, dyspepsia. People had any kind of bowel-related issues, they use this. It's golden seal. It's one of the most popular herbs. I mean, I knew nothing when I was a kid about any of this stuff. Nothing about herbs or anything. But I knew about golden seal. It's like golden seal and echinacea are the two that were just wildly popular. But golden seal's been around forever. And, of course, the Indians actually prepared it as compounds. They used it with all kinds of respiratory issues, liver, heart. It was kind of the go-to back then. So in 1798, it had medicinal virtues that really started to attract attention. There were studies done on it as much as they could do at that time. And it was used to treat a lot of skin inflammations. It was used in the eyes and with the digestive as well, just like the Indians did. It's loaded with calcium, iron, manganese, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, and the B complex. Loaded with those. And, of course, the root of it has certain rhizosomes of the golden seal, and it contains a lot of the alkaloids, which is extremely potent at supporting the body. Now, berberine is the most likely responsible golden seal effectiveness component alkaloid against bacteria, protozoa, fungi, and streptococci. So, I mean, it's got incredible properties. Even clinical trials and studies have been done to show its effectiveness in the treatment of diarrhea caused by E. coli. That's the one you get when you travel. And giardia. So, I mean, those that are just the ones that you just pray you don't get when you go outside of the country and certain other countries. It's protective against that. Matter of fact, a lot of doctors will recommend you take that and go ahead and get on it if you're traveling to help protect the body against it. So pretty strong stuff. And recently, they've been doing some studies on it about how it helps with eczema and ringworm, so as an ointment. So, I mean, there's so many great properties with herbs, with foods that can transform our health. And the good news is it brings life back to our body with the choices that we make. Coming up, we're going to jump in, grab more of your questions, and also some fitness tips when we come back.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
Connect with On Call Radio and watch On Call TV at InShapeNetwork.com.
Lines are open, 888-283-7272. Welcome back to the show. Check us out on the web. If you're looking for lifestyle providers, someone in your area that believes the same way we do, to help you with your weight, to help you with wellness, to help you go to that next level with how you're feeling, check out the website. Our team members are growing all around the country, and of course our staff can help you find someone in your area. That's what we're here for. Diane in Birmingham, Alabama. It says, my son has been struggling with MRSA. The doctors have given him multiple antibiotics. Is there anything that you would recommend? Well, with MRSA, you really want to follow what they're telling him because, again, the MRSA gets resistant, obviously, to antibiotics, but they usually can test and find which ones can help. So I'm sure they're working through that. One thing I would ask the doctors for him is to make sure that he's taking a good round of probiotics, the healthy bacteria, to make sure as he's taking so many antibiotics, it's wiping everything out. But the probiotics put back in the good bacteria so that the body can really thrive and do well. And a lot of times, if they're not added back in, the immune system doesn't really shine as much as it could, and everything doesn't work the way that it needs to, especially when you're dealing with something like MRSA. So I would simply just ask and make sure that's okay. But typically they're going to, most of the time they even give those regardless. Now it's almost become a standard protocol, standard of care, but I would ask anyway because typically he's in a place right now where, everything from the natural side to build up his body, again, to strengthen his immune system, even things like vitamin D, ask them about that, the pediatrician, because it's really going to be important to have everything, or the body really firing on all cylinders to build that immune system back up. And typically those are some of the basics that have good evidence support behind them from the scientific community, and they should be pretty much okay with that. All right, 888-283-7272. Lines are open. Give us a call. Go to the website. Jake, you're with us. How can I help?
I'm 64 years old. I just don't know what and I know I've got low T, and I haven't had any medical since '04, so I'm going to be getting some medical shortly here. I want to know what I can go with this. I need both the treatments if I can get them.
Well, yeah, low T is quite the challenge, no doubt about it. But you're going to need to get the testing done so you can find out the numbers, because the numbers are going to be everything. It's going to help you understand where your body is. But then from a natural perspective, you're going to have two roads to go, because testosterone can be low due to stress. That's for sure. And you can just take testosterone, whether it's with a pellet or a shot or a cream, or you can work on building your levels up naturally. And the challenge with the whole thing is if you take testosterone and your body's low in it and you just start taking it, then the body becomes really lazy on its own. And it starts shutting down even the little bit of production you have. It'll shut down even more. And you become completely dependent on the hormones to feel a certain way, to have the same kind of lean body composition. Your body becomes very dependent. And so you want to do everything you can to do it on your own to build up those natural levels. And there's certain ways to do that. The less body fat you have, the more testosterone you're going to have. And, growth hormone levels do make a difference as well. So I would look at first your numbers, make sure they're where they need to be. And the second thing is you want to look at your nutrition, because nutrition drives everything. Putting the right kind of foods in, making sure that you've got low sugar in the diet, that you've got plenty of healthy fats in the diet is going to be a big key. And then also making sure that you've got in the right kind of nutrition realm, that you have plenty of lean quality proteins, because proteins help to rebuild muscle tissue, and also a moderate protein diet has been proven in all the scientific journals and research to help maintain healthy hormone levels. So when you get those levels up with good nutrition, it makes a difference. About 30% of your diet and healthy fats, that's an absolute key. And then exercise resistance training is almost an absolute must. Just 3 days a week of vigorous exercise, whether it's with weights or your own body weight or whatever it is, all the studies have shown that that's essential for getting the body to produce the right kind of results when you're dealing with that. Because, I mean, the toughest part of it is the quickest way is to get the hormones in. But you really can make a difference if you've got the right kind of nutrition and the right kind of exercise plan. I mean, those two hand in hand, plus sleep. Here's the other one. So dopamine levels are a different chemical component in the brain. And if dopamine levels are low, testosterone is going to be low. But if dopamine levels come up, then you can get testosterone levels up. The two are very synergistic with each other, and they go hand in hand. So as comes up dopamine, comes up testosterone, and vice versa. Diet helps that. Exercise helps that. There's certain cofactors, depending on your lab work and what comes back, to determine whether or not you have low dopamine levels or not. But your doctor can check all that. I mean, just make sure to mention that to him. But that's a little-known secret. That's why guys get grumpy. Have you ever seen older men? They say the grumpy old men, that whole concept. Great movie, by the way. Hilarious. But grumpy old men, when guys get older, their testosterone drops. Well, when that drops, dopamine drops, and that's our feel-good chemical. So when dopamine's low, the guys get grumpy. Kind of the deal. So focus on lifestyle habits. You can make some of the biggest turnaround in those areas. Puts another hour in the charts. I want to thank our producer, engineer John Garrison, and the rest of the team. Go tell one person something you learned on this show. Together, we can transform the health of our friends, our families, and our communities. You're listening to the show that helps you get well, stay well, and live well, where we're diagnosing hope one person at a time.
Listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora. For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
This episode is over, but check episode notes for links to products and services you've heard about on this episode. Thanks for listening and subscribing. Please share the Asa Rx audio experience with others and stay in touch by giving us your comment or review.
Hi, this is Asa, and welcome to my audio experience. We're here for you every single day, no matter what you're struggling with. Doesn't matter if it's diabetes, heart disease, arthritis, whatever it is, great or small. Like, we're here for you every single day. Whatever you're struggling with, your family members, your coworkers, your loved ones, we want to help you right here on the show. This is Asa Rx. Make sure to call me at 888-283-7272. All right. So I want to jump in and talk a couple things for just a minute. We're going to get to the phones, and as you call in, you can also send me an email. Go to asarx.com. All right. We're going to jump to Phyllis in a minute. But Renee, we got an email. Renee in Jackson, Mississippi, she says, how soon after childbirth do you recommend getting back into exercising? Well, here's the thing. Everybody's different, and every woman's different. When you go through something like that, your body recovers. The question is, did you have a C-section, or did you go through any kind of trauma during the childbirth? Because that in itself is a lot. So I think you really have to figure out your own body. Most OBs and your physician, they'll tell you, wait 2 weeks, wait 3 weeks, or let's see how it goes. And I think that's really what you have to do. You have to figure out what your body's doing, how it's responding, and then go from there. So it's really personal to the individual, and depending on how much injury possibly happened during the childbirth. But hopefully everything went great with you. It sounds like it did. You would have kind of listed that out. So typically right after, within a week or two, you can start doing light exercise, walking, getting on a treadmill, getting outside, something like that usually can be really, really great. 888-283-7272 is the number. Give us a call. And don't forget,
You can also go online right here at asarx.com. Let's get on the phones and talk to Phyllis. Hi, Phyllis.
Hello, hi. And I had a concern and question. When I sleep at night, I wake up over in the night, and I have numbness in my arm and fingers, sad as a doorknob. And I just had a great concern about that, the numbness when I sleep.
So the numbness in the hands and the fingers, right? And it happens a lot of times at night. So here's what the biggest thing you've got to figure out, especially when you've got any kind of neuropathy, and that's what that's called, is a neuropathy. So when there's a breakdown in the spine itself, when there's a breakdown in the vertebra, there'll be a flattening. If you look at it like this, there'll be the disc in between the bones, okay, can get thinner and thinner and thinner. And that's what we got to really work on. So it can be in the neck, it can be in the lower back. Now, if it's in the lower back, your legs or your feet are going to hurt. And that's totally different. So when it's your hands or your arms or your shoulders or any kind of weakness there, then it's going to be in the base of the neck that's happening. So that's what we have to first figure out is that's the case. Is it damage? Is it degeneration? That's what we call it, kind of a big fancy word. But is it the degeneration that's causing that? And that's the key. We got to figure that out first. So I would go to either a chiropractic physician or an osteopathic physician. Those are two of my favorites when it comes down to this, because they're the best at a non-surgical approach in a situation like yours. And again, first we got to figure out by doing x-ray, possibly an MRI, what is actually happening in the disc space between those bones. I mean, that's the bottom line. You figure that out, then you can go from there with treatment. But a lot of times you can do physical therapy, you can do rehab. There's so much you can do besides having to go under the knife. And that's what I don't want to see you do. I don't want to see you go under the knife at all if you don't have to. And really, there's a lot of people that go too quickly, in my opinion. So go to one of those physicians, get the test. Tests are important, right? They give us the results that we're looking for so we can help go down the right rabbit trail so you're not just running all over the place. They're so important. But let me know. Let me know how that goes. 888-283-7272 is the number. You can always give me a call. Hey, and if it's not during the show time, we do take every one of your calls, even if it's off the air, and one of my providers will always get an answer to you. If not, we'll make you part of the show the next time around. So just remember that you're always a part here. This is your family. This is your home. This is your place. If you need to bring us questions, if you've got anything you want to bounce off of me as a third, fourth, fifth opinion, we are that place for you. So if your doctors have told you something, the specialist has told you something, you got a friend, a family member, a loved one. See, doctor means teacher. And though I'm not your doctor, okay, I'll be your friend. And I'll be someone here that can answer and bring value and give you another set of thoughts, along the way as you're struggling with whatever it is or trying to get victory over whatever it is. That's the key. We want to see you thrive. We want to see you excel. We want to see you make it. I don't want to see you struggle. None of us do here. We don't want to see you struggle at all. We want to see you really do well with your health. All right, so I want to talk about sleep apnea for a minute. It's a big issue. And really, I want to talk about sleep for just a moment. Sleep is a big deal. Okay, sleep is a big deal because when you're talking about sleep, you want to talk about a couple things. All right, first and foremost is your sleep patterns. Okay, your sleep patterns are really important because you got to focus on the amount of time that you sleep. All right, the amount of time. Now, 6 to 8 hours, they say 7 to 9. It's really about 6 to 8. And the more studies I'm seeing on sleep now is that the less, if you can get deeper sleep in less time, that's the best. That's what you want to focus on. So the deeper sleep, but like if you get 6 hours, but it's really good and it's really deep, you're not getting up 3-4 times a night to pee or whatever, that's going to be a great tool for you. So first I want to focus on what kind of sleep that you're getting. I mean, that is so important. Things like a routine is so important for your sleep. So just a little nutshell, every single day you should have the same routine. And I'm not the best at this, I'll tell you. Because I've got my patterns and my sleep patterns can do this with my travel schedule. I do my best to stay on track, but it really is important to get into a routine. So let's say at 8 o'clock at night, you start turning the lights down. And this is important because your body, your brain, when the pineal gland secretes what's called melatonin. And that melatonin, you've heard of that. A lot of people take it as a supplement. But that pineal gland secretes the melatonin when the lights come down and the brain is triggered that it's time to start getting ready to go to sleep. But if you've got bright lights on like I got in the studio and you've got the blue lights on like in your tablets and all that and you're staring at it nonstop, that's when it becomes an issue. Like that is where you have to realize that if you have sleep issues, many times you're the culprit. Okay, there's not like some pathology going on in the body. A lot of times, like our choices are what's doing that. So I want to encourage you. Here's what you do. Put all the filters on your devices, number one. Okay, like the yellow filter, the evening filter that it has on there that cuts the blue light, that should be on your phone, your tablet, your computer screen all the time. They do make these blue light glasses that you can use that cuts a lot of that blue light out. And that's really important. Like I can't even tell you, especially for our kids. Like our kids' brains are just going nonstop. And what happens with all the blue light is it overstimulates, and that's not good. So it cuts down our sleep patterns. So that's big. The other thing to look at is minerals. Minerals are really important. We get very deficient in them if we don't eat enough of the vegetables. And again, 1% of Americans right now, 1.5% of Americans actually eat vegetables every single day. I mean, think about that. That's a nightmare, okay? So we're not getting the vitamins and minerals that we need. Magnesium is one of the number one deficient minerals that we have in the body. It's responsible for over 300 processes. So if you can't sleep, I always tell someone, start with magnesium. Even without a blood test, most people struggle with that, and they have a hard time with it. So you take a few, just follow what's on the bottle. Take that at nighttime with a little snack before you go to bed, and 9 times out of 10, you'll be sleeping like a baby. The other thing is tart cherry juice. Tart cherry juice has naturally occurring melatonin in it, and it stimulates great sleep patterns. So when your sleep patterns are off, it can lead to sleep disorders. And that's what we want to keep you away from. But a good sleep routine is something that can be more valuable than medicine, as good as exercise, as important as water, and as important as a clean diet. All of that is super important when it comes down to your routine. Your lifestyle is your medicine. Don't forget that. We're coming right back. We're going to jump into more questions with your health. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
To find out more, connect with On Call Radio online at InShapeNetwork.com.
Welcome back to the show, 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Give us a call. And listen, you can go online, asarx.com. That's asarx.com. Now, if you don't have a provider in your area, a doctor that believes the same way we do, look, we've got providers all over the country. We can help you find someone in your area that helps you the way that we do. So people that believe in lifestyle-based medicine, lifestyle-based care, they'll do lab work based on figuring out what your core nutritional deficiencies are. Like that is some of the most valuable things you can do for your health. Remember, you've got to be specific, and you have to be strategic when it comes to your health. You can't just like cross your fingers and like hope for the best. You just can't do that. So I talk to people all the time. They don't go to a doctor. They get no lab work done. I mean, I talked to a lady the other day. She hadn't had lab work done in like 10 years. She's in her 50s. I mean, that is just not wise. That's just not. I could say some choice things right now. That is just not good. All right. So you have to make sure that you get testing done. Like blood work, the life's in the blood, power's in the blood. And getting that done, in my opinion, every 6 months minimum. If you have something going on, I think you should get it done every 4 months. Because remember, the blood cells regenerate every 90 to 120 days. That means each day old cells are dying off, new cells are forming. So, and we get a brand new body about every year. So you got to think about the fact that you're going to need to get your blood work done, especially if you're taking vitamins and minerals, especially if you're eating, a really good clean diet, and you really started working on things to get your health better, to get everything back in check. You're going to want to actually see the change, and that's the only way you can measure it. So I would encourage you, number one, to get your lab work done. That's super important. All right, let's get on the phones, and let's talk to Tanya. Hi, Tanya.
I'm almost 85 years old. 25 years ago, I had precancerous colon surgery. I lost 15 inches of my left colon.
Okay.
I have had severe diarrhea ever since, the last 25 years of my life. Is there anything I can take? I take Imodium, but it don't faze me. So if there's anything that I can take to help me.
Yeah. So one of the things you got to look at, and Tanya, this is a big deal. Your gut health, all right? Your overall digestive health is everything. Like it's everything. And if you don't begin to focus on that, like that's the core of everything that goes on in the body. All right? Can you get this chair Let's get this chair set up here. It's everything. So I want to encourage you to start with this, okay? The anti-inflammatory diet is something that we teach about a lot, and it's really important because the anti-inflammatory diet is a balance. It's not high carb, low carb, high fat, low fat. It's not keto. It's not Atkins. It's not, intermittent fasting. All those things can be good in their own place and way. But when you're dealing with the digestion and you've got a lot of inflammation going on in the body, you have to just step up and say, okay, look, I've got to clear this out. I have to come up with a way to clear these things out of the body so that my body can work in the most efficient manner. And a lot of times yeast, fungal issues, histamine, they build up in the body, in the gut, and they cause a lot of digestive issues. So diarrhea, a lot of it can be a bacteria. Could be something like H. pylori. Have you ever heard of that? It's a serious bacteria that can get in the gut. A lot of times it causes a peptic ulcer. But for the most part, when you're dealing with something like diarrhea, something along those lines, it can be a nightmare. And that's something that you want to tackle early so that you're not just, struggling with that. Because here's the thing. If you don't do that, if you don't get the gut bacteria, we'll call it the microbiome, is the environment of the gut. If we don't take care of that, if we don't tackle that, then you're not absorbing your food, okay? Many times, if your gut is not working right, you're not absorbing the food right. And that's just, it's huge. Okay, so what do? Number one, you get a good balance. You cut out 2 types of food groups for a short period of time. This is not forever, but it's for a short period of time. So you want to cut out things like grains and dairy products. All right, so basic cheese, yogurt, alt milk, the things that you probably love. I get it. But you want to cut those out. The other thing is on the wheat products. So bread, pasta, cereal, crackers, those kinds of things. It's just for about an 8-week period. That's about how long it takes for these to really get out of the system. And if there's an allergy type response, an allergic response, we call it a histamine response, big fancy medical term. But if that happens, then one of the things you got to look at is you got to figure out, okay, what do I have to do to clear my body out, and what do I have to do to build it back up? Probiotics are one of the number one things you can do, and you can get it in a pill, and I do recommend that. I recommend it in a capsule form because of the strength of it. You can eat yogurt, although I just told you not to, but you can eat fermented foods like kimchi, which is a cabbage. That's a fermented cabbage, and it has tons of healthy probiotics in it. But one of the things you also have to think about is even if it has that in there, you got to have such a high load of it to get everything clear. That's the deal. So I would focus in on getting probiotics in the supplement form, getting a good anti-inflammatory diet. It's all in my book. By the way, we're giving away my book for free. It's myfreehealthbook.com. That's myfreehealthbook.com. Just go there. All you got to do is pay the shipping. We send you my hardback copy book. It's great. For what you're looking for right now, that is the ticket. That will give you a roadmap for what you're looking for. Okay, just go to asarx.com. That's asarx.com. And we can get that to you, okay? My team, they'll get it right out to you no matter where you are. We'll make it happen. But here's the thing, okay? Just remember that you are what you eat. My granny taught me that, right? And you're in your 80s. And so I know that it's important to you. And I'll tell you what she told me, I literally 3 doctorates later, studying for 16 years, getting these doctorates in medical training and hospital training and the whole deal. And I came all the way around the circle, right? And then I landed. And it's I can hear my granny in my ear, 94 before she went home to be with Jesus. So I can hear her in my ear going, honey, it's great that you did all that, but remember what I told you? It's you are what you eat. I can still hear her saying that. Sweet little voice, but it's true. So I just say what my granny told me to you, doctor whatever, how many letters I've got after my name, doesn't really matter. But I'll tell you this. You are what you eat. And until you get your gut right, you're not going to get your health right. You get your gut right, you get your health right, period. And that's everything. Cardiovascular system, diabetes, your brain. You get the gut right, you get everything else right. That's the key. All right? Thanks so much for the call. Coming up, more questions about your health. We're going to jump in. I've got some tips I want to give you that you don't want to miss on weight loss. Okay? We're going to talk a little bit about weight loss. Don't go anywhere.
Are you ready to chow? It's time for Keto Chow. When it comes to eating healthy, the keto diet has become one of the nutrition leaders in optimizing health, losing unwanted weight, and reaching your health and wellness goals. No extravagant cooking, no long kitchen cleanup, and most importantly, especially for me, it's convenient. Just put quality Keto Chow powder in a bottle, add some heavy whipping cream or your favorite fat, a little water, and boom, shake it up and you're ready to chow. Keto Chow tastes amazing. So make Keto Chow easy for you and your family today with Keto Chow. Let's go chow. Visit Keto Chow online at ketochow.xyz. That's ketochow.xyz.
To find out more, visit the show online, InShapeNetwork.com.
Welcome back to the show. Give me a call, 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Go to asarx.com. That's asarx.com. Hey, if you're looking for a provider in your area, someone that believes the same way we do, all this nutrition and lifestyle-based care we talk about here, look, go and check out with our providers. Our team members can help you. Go to asarx.com. Look at providers. We've got people all over the country. Now they're even working remote because of this whole thing going on. So we can reach people more than ever. So go to asarx.com. Check out the providers. And then if you're looking for a good way to get started, look, number one, we're giving away my book for free. Like, it is kind of the starting point. If you're looking to get on a good health journey, you're trying to figure it out. It's like you get online and there's all these blogs and experts and everybody thinks they got the right answer. Now, I'm one of those people, right? So you landed here. And I just want to say, start with my book. Go to myfreehealthbook.com, myfreehealthbook.com, and get a copy of my book. Start there, all right? Now, once you go from there, if you need coaching, if you need help with one of my providers are always there to help you, okay? Always. We've got a whole team. Amazing. But Healthy University is our masterclass. It is where we teach everybody. It's a 9-lesson course. Takes you about 5 hours to go all the way through it. Short little videos, little 2-3 minute videos. You go through each section, and I mean, it will teach you everything. I've taken all the stuff out there, okay? 3 different doctorates. And I've taken everything out there and I've condensed it into a common sense approach that will teach you and your family how to live a healthy lifestyle, how to beat genetics, avoid disease, live disease free, and conquer this thing and just have tons of energy. That's what I want to see for you more than anything, is to be full of energy and vitality and longevity, to be there for your kids, for your grandkids, and just be here. Like, who wants to have your last years be not so good years? I've seen that. I've seen it in people, and it's not good. You want to have your years be good years. You want to have everything that you have right now, the time that you have, every day that counts, every day that matters. You want it to be good. You want it to be full of energy and vitality. You want that to be great. You don't want to be in a place where it's not. 888-283-7272. Give me a call. You can be part of the show. Now, I want to talk, well, let me grab this email, okay? So Tina in Salt Lake City, Utah, she says, I have a lot of swelling in my ankles, and it seems I'm retaining a lot of water. Is there anything I can do about it? I mean, yeah, there's a lot you can do about it. Okay, number one, when you've got something going on your ankles, what does that tell you? Does that trigger anything for you? So if you're a doc, then you start thinking heart and you start thinking kidneys, like those two things. Okay, whenever fluid starts to accumulate in the body, you got to think about those things. So my question is, have you had anything checked? If you haven't had anything checked yet, then you need to. Just need to go to your physician, tell them, hey, look, check my ankles out. They'll do some tests. But the biggest thing is that they figure out what it is. And what I mean by that is doing the test. Okay, because medicine, this is where medicine really comes in. Like, I'm not anti-medicine. People think, oh, you're that natural guy. I love natural medicine, yes. But I'm a big fan of regular medicine. That's why I'm an MD. Like, I love it. I think it's brilliant. And I think it's necessary, and I think, like, if we didn't have it, a lot of people would die, for real. It manages, and it gets us through a lot, especially in emergency situations, like, unbelievable. You watch an ER doctor and an ER nurse practitioner and those providers, like, go to work when something's happening, it's amazing. Like, I've got mad respect for the ER folks, seriously. It's a big deal. So, number one, is if you've got that, go in to your physician and get the test. They'll do blood work, they'll do some urinalysis, basic tests, but they'll be able to see exactly what's happening and why your body's doing that. So fluid retention is always a challenge. Okay, there's always an issue when that fluid is happening. Then you know the heart is typically involved somehow, the kidneys are involved somehow, and there's a little bit of fluid issue between sodium and potassium, and it could be straight adrenals, it could not, but you need to get it looked at. Okay, get the test done, then you let me know. But I promise you this, I would tell you, hey, there's this thing in your cabinet, go to the grocery store, take the spice, it'll be great. This is not one of those times. Okay, this is one of those times where you need to go to your physician, and like you need to get there as soon as possible. This is not wait 4 days. Okay, don't do what us guys do. That's what we do. Okay, we blow it off. We'll be fine. Like I'm a doctor and I'm king of that. Okay, like don't do that. Like go. Like I'm saying go. Like if you got swelling in your ankles, you got to go. Okay. It's really important. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Give us a call. We're going to go to the phones right now and talk to Marina. Hi, Marina.
I want to know, can you not eat green vegetable if you're taking cubana? And what is the best alternative for someone that's going through Alzheimer's?
So you actually can. So with Coumadin, which is the name of that drug, Coumadin is a little bit of a challenge. Doctors don't like you doing the dark leafy greens, and you should stay away from the super dark ones. Like you need to stay away from spinach and kale. But you can definitely jump into more of the ones where like spring mix, okay? Romaine lettuce. Like the iceberg is junk. If you like the crunch, then do it. But I'm just telling you, the iceberg lettuce is doing nothing for you. Like zero, nothing, nada. It just doesn't have the nutrients in it to do anything. So what I would do is I would stick with the basics. I would go with your romaine lettuce and your spring mix. Arugula is kind of on the borderline. I like it. You know, it's got a weird taste to it. Some people like it, some people don't. But I would definitely look into that, okay? And then your other green vegetables are great. So like broccoli and green beans and all of that, all those are fine. You could do that all day long. So just make sure you get plenty of vegetables in, but go for the whole rainbow. Like you hear that, the rainbow, that thing. All right, so the rainbow is pretty much this. I mean, go for the different colors because green veggies are great for you, but so are the red veggies, like red bell peppers. I mean, they got phenomenal results, like stuff in them. You've got phytochemicals and phytonutrients, and you've got polyphenols, and you have like so many nutrients are in these kind of foods. It's crazy not to eat the broad spectrum. So don't just get hung up on greens. Like vegetables in general bring so much value to the body. Like I'm a huge fan all the way around. Like mix and match and do different things. I do always a big green salad every day. Okay, people ask me all the time, what do you eat? I've got standard things that I eat every day. I've got this on my website. Go to asarx.com. I have kind of a standard of what I normally do because it's really important. You have to have the right kind of foods consistently in a well-rounded way. That's the key, all right? Because you could eat the same thing, and a lot of people do, and I do too in some way, but eating the same thing over and over and over again will create nutritional deficiencies in the body, and that's what you don't want to have. You don't want to develop nutritional deficiencies in the body. You want to actually get the body where you're not doing that. I mean, like that is the ultimate key. That's what you got to focus on. Okay. So I would start there, and then also look into, and this is important, vitamin K2, which is different than K1. They want you to stay off the K1 because it affects the Coumadin. But vitamin K2 is different, and you need a little bit of that when you're taking your vitamin D supplements, which I hope you are. Okay, I hope you are. That's super important because vitamin D is super important in so many different processes in the body, and most people are deficient. So rule number 50, whatever, is get your blood test done for vitamin D every 6 months, no matter what. You're over the age of 40, you better be getting your vitamin D checked at least twice a year. Like don't do this once a year. Once a year physical, fine. Like getting your prostate checked, getting the breast exam and all that you've got to do as a male and a female once a year. But you better be getting blood work done if you got something going on, every 4 months. If you're doing it for maintenance, every 6 months minimum. Hands down. Like, not even a question. Because you have to know what's going on inside the body. It's super, super important. All right, so I want to jump in. And by the way, you're listening and watching the Asa Rx Experience right here. And go to our website, asarx.com. That's asarx.com. I'm so glad you're with us, by the way. It's so great to have you just to be here with us. And, there's nothing I love more than seeing people reach their potential. Like, people are like, oh, Dr. Asa, you got such a good demeanor and all that. And I do. I'll listen. I will listen to you till the cows come home, as I grew up saying. I will. But I will push you because I've seen enough in my life of patients that have lost their lives. I've seen family members that have died. And I've seen too many people that could have been pushed, and had they given more effort into their own health, they would have been in this game a lot longer. Now, you may believe it. When it's your time, it's your time. Look, let me tell you something. I could show you things that says different because you are in charge of your own body. You were given your body as a gift, okay? This is what I always say. Your health is a gift from God, okay? It's total free gift. He gave it to you, right? Whatever you believe. If you don't believe that, that's fine, but let's just take it as a metaphor, all right? So God gave you this gift in health. He gave you this amazing body. It is a machine. It is, let me tell you something, it's a miracle. If you study it and understand the physiology like I do and any other physician does, unbelievable. Like, it is an absolute miracle how it works. It is. So your health is a gift from God. What you do with your health every single day is your gift back to Him. So don't ever forget that. Remember that it's a gift. And no one would give you a gift and you wad it up and throw it in the trash can. No one would give you a gift and you just tarnish it and throw it away right in front of them. You may do it when they're not around, but to do that right in front of them, because remember, He's watching every single day. So I want you to remember that your health is truly a gift. And on this show, we want to help you do everything you can to take care of that gift and thrive and have the longevity that you deserve.
Did you know that you can listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Connect with On Call Radio and watch On Call TV at InShapeNetwork.com.
Welcome back to the show, 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. So glad you're with us here every single day to help you with your health and with your life. That's what this is all about. Now, you talk about adults eating too much salt because we get worried about blood pressure and how it affects the body in a negative way. It can also affect arteries, believe it or not, increases inflammation. But what about our kids? You know that right now, 90% of the kids in our country here struggle with too much salt intake. Now, you kind of figure that, right? I mean, like you have all the kids eating pizzas and cold cuts and sandwiches and chips and popcorn and and plus with here's the challenge. The real challenge is with parents that are working. So if you got kids in after school, you got daycare, they go home. Maybe they're in that in-between phase where it's like they're 11, 12 years old. They go home. Nobody's there for 3 hours. They're racking up on the Twinkies and the King Dons and the chips. I mean, they're just hammering it. When you come home, they're like, "Oh, I'm starving." Really, they've been eating for like 3 hours, right? So the average kid right now, the child in America under the age of 17, takes in 3,500 milligrams of sodium a day. Now, we've got more obesity with kids than we've ever had before. Okay, 1 out of 3 of our young people right now, 1 out of 3 of our young people under the age of 11, you listening? 1 out of 3 of our young people under the age of 11 has been diagnosed with diabetes. Think about that. So now we're starting to see kids, all right, young people. We're starting to see young people get heart disease. How do you get heart disease when you're 15 years old? How does that even happen? Okay, it happens from a poor diet. It happens from parents not looking out. Just call it what it is. Because the kid's going to eat pizza every day if you let him, right? But I mean, like my mother, I'll tell you something. Like the law got laid down if the vegetables were not eaten. And she's the sweetest woman ever. But like if I didn't eat my vegetables, then it was, let me tell you something. It was coming down. Like it was coming down. So the reason is she put a heavy emphasis on good because she took the time to cook it all for all of us, right? I mean, she took the time to really prepare and have good food and good meals. I was really blessed in that way, like super grateful, that she always did that. So parents, I would just say step up. Whatever you have to do to step your game up to get the foods right in your house. Look, my book I'm giving to you for free. All right, so you've got it. It comes to you for free. Just go to myfreehealthbook.com, myfreehealthbook.com. I'm going to say it again, myfreehealthbook.com, myfreehealthbook.com, My Free Health Book, which means you get it, you pay for the shipping, whatever. It's a hardback book. It's my best-selling book. You take it home, you read it. It's going to be like a health Bible to you. It's got everything in it, recipes and things to do and how to eat and how to prepare things for your family. And if your husband's got some kind of health challenge or you have a health challenge, you're trying to figure out how to get out of it. It's got an index in the back that shows you everything you can do from a natural remedy perspective to help you. Like, it's all there. So I just want you to be encouraged that you don't have to be stuck. You really don't. And we're here to help you every step of the way. But your kids need you. 3,500 milligrams of sodium needs to be cut down to 1,500, 2,000 max. Like, cut that dog in half. All right, 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Let's get on the phones and go to Drake. Drake's in the house.
I have low blood sugar at times. I've not been diagnosed with it, but most evenings, if I do not eat at a set time, I get sick. I mean, it just takes a package of peanut butter crackers to fix it. But is there something that I can do to help that in the future?
Yeah, I'll tell you, Drake, there is low blood sugar can be just as bad as high blood sugar. I guess you're already figuring that out, right? So with low blood sugar, one of the things is a lot of times if your body struggles with blood sugar anyway and the pancreas are really struggling, then you have to figure out a way to create, and you do this with food and also with exercise, but you have to create a way that will make everything function the best way. All right. And what I mean by that is you got to keep the blood sugar stable. Because if you go 6 hours without eating, let's say you just get busy, right? We all get busy. But let's say you get busy. And let's say you get busy and it's like, okay, I just can't eat. I don't have time, right? So you eat a meal that's probably not that great anyway. All right. You eat a bunch of processed foods and it's not that great for you. And then you let 6 hours go by. Here's what happens. Your blood sugar goes up and then it crashes. And if you have low blood sugar issues, it's going to do it even worse. So it goes down and it just crashes out until you eat again. But if you're not eating the right kind of foods, then it's not going to balance out. So here's the key to remember. Now, an anti-inflammatory diet is the key when you're dealing with blood sugar levels, no matter what. That's in my book. Go to myfreehealthbook.com, myfreehealthbook.com. Did you hear that? It's called myfreehealthbook.com. So make sure to go there and check it out. The anti-inflammatory diet, you can start there, okay? And then as you start on the anti-inflammatory diet, then you want to focus more than anything, you've got to focus, okay, on eating meals that have equal amounts of lean protein sources like chicken, fish, beef, or eggs, low glycemic carbohydrates in the form of fruits and vegetables, not a bunch of starchy carbs, not bread, pasta, cereal, crackers, none of that. Okay, so you've got to focus on that. So lean quality proteins, then also healthy fats. You see, things like almonds, walnuts, cashews, avocados, even egg yolks, like fats are really good for you. Forget the keto thing total. I mean, I'm not against it. It's a great system for certain people. But here's the thing. It's about balance. Okay? Proteins and fats stabilize blood sugar. So if you eat a protein and a banana, it's going to stabilize the blood sugar. Eat a banana, it goes up. Eat a protein with a banana, it stabilizes. If you eat a handful of walnuts with a banana, it's going to stabilize it. You eat a banana by itself, goes up. Okay, so the fats and proteins stabilize the carbohydrate and stabilize blood sugar. Every 2 to 3 hours, you should be eating. All that's in my book. Puts another hour in the charts. I want to thank my producer, Lyle Valentine, Derek Allen, John Garrison, and the rest of the team. Look, go tell one person something you learned right here on the show. And together, we can transform the health of our friends, our families, and our communities. You're listening to the Asa Rx Experience, where we're helping you become the best version of you every single day. Now, look. Take what you've learned, go make an impact in yourself and in others.
Did you know you could listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, Check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
This episode is over, but check episode notes for links to products and services you've heard about on this episode. Thanks for listening and subscribing. Please share the Asa Rx audio experience with others and stay in touch by giving us your comment or review.
Hi, this is Asa, and welcome to my audio experience.
So glad you're with us. So glad you're here. Go to the website. Go to asarx.com. That's asarx.com. Send me an email. I'll make it part of the show, too. Look, I'm excited about the show today. I'm excited about being here today with you. I want this to be an experience. The reason we call that this is we want you to join with us wherever you are, however you are, wherever you are, and we want to see you win. I want to see you be able to take something that we use today, that we talk about here, and be able to use that for yourself. I want you to take it and apply it to your life. We want to teach you something. I want you to experience something new in your life. The light bulb goes off and you want to lose weight. The light bulb goes off and you want to do something better for your family. The light bulb goes off and you want to just become better than you are before you got on here with us. We want to help you. We want you to leave here with something, that makes your life better. That's our key. That's our mission statement. We want you to become the best version of you, and we just want to be a part of that. We want to be a part of your daily life and help you and walk with you in that journey. You can always give me a call. This is a caller-driven experience, so we want you to call and be a part of the show. You can do 888-283-7272. We're here for you each and every day, no matter what. All right, speaking of that, let's get on the phones and go with Stuart. Hi, Stuart.
Have a low sodium content and have high blood pressure. I was wondering if it was anything natural that would build up my sodium. They've got me on a new medicine. I start as soon as it gets in. It's very pricey, and that's the answers I'm looking for. Thank you very much.
You got it, buddy. So here's the thing. With low sodium, but yet you got high blood pressure. So there's a big myth. Now, regular table salt and the kind of sodium that's in a lot of the like TV dinners and frozen meals and that kind of thing, that salt is not good for you. But there is another type of salt, we can put it in the sodium category, that is actually very good for you. Many times we're very deficient in minerals. Matter of fact, most people are deficient in minerals because we don't eat enough fruits and vegetables. We just don't. Okay, it's been recorded that about 1.5% of Americans actually eat fruits and vegetables. That's crazy. That means that 98% people don't. So because of that, it makes us very nutrient deficient. And when you're looking at sodium, the best form of sodium is in what's called pink Himalayan sea salt. There's so many minerals that are naturally packed in that pink Himalayan sea salt. So I would encourage you to start there. I would encourage you to really start with that, and you can just add a certain amount. I know it goes against all the traditional thought for blood pressure, but many times if the adrenal glands, which are the body's stress glands, if they're not getting everything that they need, if they're not getting filled up with the nutrients that they need, then it's going to cause an imbalance anyway. So I have seen many times that when you add just a little bit, it doesn't have to be a lot. I mean, a quarter of a teaspoon is not a lot of salt in the pink Himalayan sea salt, because now you're adding minerals to the body, not just sodium. You're adding all the minerals. And remember that it's minerals like magnesium, which naturally occur in that pink salt, that lower blood pressure. Okay, so you've got to give the body sodium because you've got a low sodium count. You want to at least bring it up to baseline, but then you also need the other natural occurring minerals as well that can help the body function better, and magnesium is one of those. Matter of fact, magnesium is something you can take by itself. It's one of the top minerals you can use. You always want to take it with food, and in my opinion, you always want to take it with your evening meal, because magnesium has a real strong relaxation effect on the body. It relaxes the body and the muscles, so it allows you to sleep better. Matter of fact, when people have sleep issues, we use magnesium and they get fantastic results. And you can get that from certain foods as well. But I would look at that. So from your low sodium diet, don't just think salt, get rid of all the salt, how am I going to eat it? But there's also a natural way to do it. And this is like one of my favorite things to encourage people to do. And it should be part of your morning routine. I made this part of my morning routine, gosh, it's been probably a decade now. But it's something I do every morning. Like every morning for me, when I get up. So let me just say this. The best form of natural sodium outside of the pink Himalayan sea salt, and I take the pink Himalayan sea salt, like I take it about 3 times a day. And I'll put it in water and drink it. I mean, I just take it, and it's phenomenal. But one of the best natural forms of sodium that will not affect blood pressure, it actually lowers blood pressure, is celery. Celery and celery juice is nature's #1 form of the kind of sodium that our body needs to function at its highest level. If you eat a bunch of celery and drink celery juice, it's loaded with sodium, but it lowers your blood pressure. Go figure. That's what I'm saying. Like the table salt versus celery is like not even in the same category. Okay. So one thing I've done like I said, a decade or more, is I do celery juice every morning. Now I travel a lot, and so I found an organic celery powder that I use, and I carry it with me. But every morning, no matter what, I do an entire lemon. This is what I do in my shake. My smoothie, I do a smoothie every morning. Shake every morning. First thing I do. Okay? But in that, I do an entire freshly squeezed lemon, and I do the celery powder. So that's what I do every morning. That, and then, of course, I've got protein powder, and I have fruit in the morning. That's my main serving of fruit. I don't do a lot of fruit. I do mostly vegetables, because your body can only handle a certain amount of fructose, which is a fruit sugar. They've got great antioxidants in them, but I limit my fruit. I don't do a whole lot. And I do a ton of vegetables. But that's kind of my routine in the morning. And celery is phenomenal. Matter of fact, with people with blood pressure issues in our coaching program and our providers use in our coaching system, is we use celery in a great way, and it helps to lower blood pressure. It really does. Supports the body in an amazing way. 888-283, thanks for the call. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Also send me an email. Go to asarx.com. That's asarx.com, asarx.com. Now, I want to talk just for a second about breastfeeding with women and how the milk is super important. So they're saying now that obese moms that do breastfeeding should be a little concerned, because they want to make sure whatever led to the obesity, right? If it was poor habits, too many calories, the wrong kind of foods, that the moms need to be cognizant of what they're putting in their bodies. A study that was done recently at the Cooper University Healthcare Center, and they found that they tracked more than 700 women 6 years after they gave birth, and they were talking about the quality of the milk and also based on their BMI. So women that stay in the obese category breastfeeding, they just, no matter what, if you're working on losing the weight, make sure that you're eating the right kind of foods, like eating an anti-inflammatory based diet, plenty of whole-based foods, plenty of lean quality proteins, low glycemic carbohydrates, not a lot of processed carbohydrates, like breads, pastas, cereals, crackers. If it's kind of a man-made or manufactured food, like eat an apple, not a apple Pop-Tart, right? It's like eat potatoes, not French fries, right? Like if it's been modified, that's what I mean when I say a whole food based diet. Is you want to eat foods in the way they were originally designed. It's the way that your body's going to process them the best. When you're making milk, though, as your body as nursing mothers, remember that the foods you put in every single day, the quality of those foods are going to develop the quality of the milk that goes to your baby. So if you think that way, it's going to help you make the right kind of choices. We'll be right back.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
To find out more, connect with On Call Radio online at InShapeNetwork.com.
Welcome back to the show. This is the Asa Rx Experience. I'm Asa, here with you every single day to help you and get you to the next level with your health and with your life. Make sure to give us a call, 888-283-7272. And also, you can go online, asarx.com. All right. Let's talk about kids for a minute. Okay? I love kids. I love our next generation. I love seeing them make good choices. I have a daughter. It's so much fun to watch her grow up and to develop and to make good choices and to struggle with things and to overcome them and It's just awesome. But now kids are showing, and I kind of understand this, the kids are showing a large sign of stress in their lives. There's a lot of demands on kids right now. 43% of parents said their children were arguing more. 37% reported increased crying and whining among the children. And 34% said their children seemed to be worried and anxious. 44% reported stomach aches. This is from WebMD. 38% children had nightmares or sleeping issues, and 20% reported decreased appetite from stress. And then 20% of parents said their kids need to go to behavioral counseling and therapy. So, the question's why? So, the one place, this really breaks my heart. The world is tough enough, right? As a kid, you're growing, you're developing, you're doing your best to become, just to navigate this world and learn about it. But I think that more than anything as parents, it's our jobs to create an environment for our kids that is a peaceful environment. Because in a world where a lot of times there's not peace, and now more than ever there's so much unrest, kids are already dealing with so much, especially as they get into their preteens and teens. Like they're trying to figure it out, see where they fit in and where they belong and all of that. I think as parents, if you're in a home and you're married, don't make that a stressful home. Don't make that a battleground and a war zone so your kids are dealing with that. And don't make your home should be a place of peace. And whatever you've got to do to make that happen, you need to make that happen. Because the environment you're giving your kids is up to you. Like, you're in charge of that. They're not. They're 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. They're a teenager, even 14 and 15. Your number one job is to keep that peace at home. Not to bury your issues. If you got stuff going on with your spouse or partner or whatever, you need to work that out, but you work it out behind closed doors. You don't work it out in front of the kids. You don't create drama in that home, in a place of unrest or uneasiness. Because the stress that these kids are going through, these kids don't just get stressed. You don't have a kid with an eating disorder because of just themselves. There's stuff that creates that. There's insecurities that form based on their environment. And yeah, things can happen at school and with their peers. But most psychologists will tell you that that's not really where it all begins. A lot of these issues begin because kids have instability in the love from their parents. That's one of the core issues. If you can fix that right there, if you can just understand that right there, then you could correct at least 95% of what's going on with your kids or have prevented it. And if you've already gone that route and you've already done too much of that, well, then start correcting it now. Change the behavior. It's never too late. It's never too late. Your health, you can change someone's entire environment. You take someone that doesn't feel loved and make them feel loved, all of a sudden, guess what? Their whole countenance begins to change. Their whole environment begins to change. So I would encourage you to do that. It's really important. The stress, based on this study right here, the stress that we're seeing, this is from the American Academy of Pediatrics, these numbers. It's staggering, and it doesn't have to be that way. We have to take responsibility for our kids and the environment. And you may not see yourself as a leader, but you have to realize that when you became a parent, when you got that title of mom and dad, you were given the title of leader. And you're to lead your kids. Doesn't matter if you think the other parent or partner or whatever is crazy. It doesn't matter if maybe you're a grandparent and the parents are not in the picture. Maybe they've stepped out. If you're a grandparent, this is your second run. Maybe you didn't do it right the first time, but you can do it right now. And maybe you're saying you don't have the energy to do that, and you stick them in front of the device all day long, in front of the TV. Don't do that. Remember, you don't retire. You refire. If God gives you an ability to be a grandparent to your grandchildren and spend a lot of time with them, you need to see that as a gift. You need to see that as a way to influence and impact and give wisdom into those kids more than ever. You're listening to the Asa Rx Experience, by the way. I'm Asa. Give us a call, 888-283-7272. You can always call me and send me an email. I'll make it part of the show, asarx.com. But really, you have to do that. Look at that as a second chance as a grandparent to impart your wisdom and life experience and love into these kids. Give your kids an environment of peace and security and stability, no matter what it costs you, no matter what the cost. Put yourself selfishness aside, because most of the time that's what it is, and give them the environment that they deserve. And you'll cut down on about 95% of the stress that these kids are dealing with. Hands down. 888-283-7272. Give us a call or go to the website. Go to asarx.com. All right, we've got an email that came in. Cindy wrote in from Montana. She says, what do you do when your energy levels are low? I've gone to my doctor and they said that everything seems fine, but I'm exhausted all the time. What do I do? All right, energy levels. Look, one of my big keys, one of them, is like you have to have energy. Like I don't care if you don't have abs. I don't care if you're not, you have the perfect body that you want. Like that's not our goal here. Our goal here is for vitality, longevity, energy, performance. Like that's what I'm all about. So if you have low energy levels and your doctor's done blood tests and they have said everything looks fine, guarantee you there's something not fine. Have them go back and check your vitamin D levels. Have them check your B12 levels. Have them check your ferritin levels, which can indicate a low vitamin C. There's a lot of factors that are hidden that they may not see, but you definitely need to look at that. Now, the hidden one is adrenal function. Ask them to test that.
Are you ready to chow? It's time for Keto Chow. When it comes to eating healthy, the keto diet has become one of the nutrition leaders in optimizing health, losing unwanted weight, and reaching your health and wellness goals. No extravagant cooking, no long kitchen cleanup, and most importantly, especially for me, it's convenient. Just put quality Keto Chow powder in a bottle, add some heavy whipping cream or your favorite fat, a little water, and boom, shake it up and you're ready to chow. Keto Chow tastes amazing. So make Keto Chow easy for you and your family today with Keto Chow. Let's go chow. Visit Keto Chow online at ketochow.xyz. That's ketochow.xyz.
To find out more, visit the show online, InShapeNetwork.com.
Welcome back to the show, 888-283-7272. This is the Asa Rx Experience. Check us out, asarx.com. All right, so Alexis is holding with us. Let's go to Alexis. Hi, Alexis.
I have an issue with hair loss. I saw someone in New York City. It's not female pattern baldness. They told me to see the endocrinologist. I have for several years. My thyroid is under control and balanced, but my hair is not growing back. What can I do?
All right, so first things first is you want to get tested for different nutritional deficiencies. When the hair begins to come out, and it's because a lot of times you think first thyroid, right? So that's like a massive indicator for thyroid, but then blood sugar related issues can cause that as well. There's a lot of different factors and cofactors that can cause hair loss. So there's testing that has to be done, right, to rule things out, to rule them in or rule them out. And that has to be done first and foremost. Now, once that's done, then we can figure out a game plan. But I would first of all, you want to eat and reset the system. Get the microbiome clear, make sure the gut's working the right way, because remember, you got to get your gut right before the health will be right. Anytime you have symptoms, you always got to think, okay, what is the body not getting? And it's not as simple as what foods do you need to eat? And here's why. Because if the microbiome, which is the environment of the gut, if it's not healthy, if it's not working at peak performance, if it's not at its highest level, then you're not getting what you need, okay? So that's first and foremost. And if that mechanism is not working right, then you're going to have major issue. So that's what we got to figure out first. And then once you rule out what the deficiencies are, what the body needs, then you can help. Now, just in a simple sense, I mean, obviously, things like biotin can be really good, right? But I'm sure you probably already tried that. Omega-3 fatty acids tend to be a big player in it. And then also, you want to look at vitamin C and collagen. So all of these play a role in your skin, your hair, and your nails. But again, if it's something metabolic, then you're going to have an issue. We're going to need to know what that is anyway. So that's why the testing is important. Like test, and then test again. Like I'm a big fan of always doing that. You got to test to figure that out. So do that. My point is, get some more testing done. Look for the nutritional deficiencies, see what those are, and then let me know. All right? 888-283-7272 is the number. You can give me a call or go to asarx.com. Hey, if you've got our free book yet, have you got it yet? Just go to myfreehealthbook.com. It is the best way to get started. If you're trying to figure out how to get started on this health game and get your journey right and start making better choices for you and your family, the book's a great place to start, but also Healthy University is a great place to start. It's a 9-lesson course. It'll take you about 4 to 5 hours to complete it. All small little 2-minute videos that you can watch. You kind of graduate from it, finish it. Pretty amazing. But it is the best way for you and your family to learn. People love learning now. They like watching videos. They like watching on their tablet or their phone, and that's what this is. It allows you to watch in a way where you can take notes, learn something, and really maximize your ability to thrive. That's what we want to help you do more than anything, is to really do well with that. So Healthy University, go to asarx.com. You'll see it there. So something dear to my heart I want to talk about, and that's kids and obesity. So kids and obesity is a big deal. We're seeing it now more than ever. 42% among teens right now are not active after school. They're saying now that a lot of the overweight issues with kids is due to inactivity. So the video games and not being active and not playing that much, sitting all the time, being on their phones, watching movies and TV, Netflix and chill, right? That whole thing. So they did a study at the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA, and they found this. They found that just the data recently between 12 and 17-year-olds, they are finding that the body mass index, which is kind of that gold standard of if you're overweight or not, is up by 60% right now with teenagers. And it's because of the lifestyle. So, again, this goes back to parents really making an impact for their kids, and it goes back to parents helping to make the right choices for their kids. We have to make the right choices for them, which means feeding them the right kind of foods, making sure they're engaged in activity, not letting them sit in front of the TV and playing games and being on their device all day long. All that has to stop. Like, don't be lazy parents. Like, I'm just telling you. We can't be lazy as parents. We have to step up and do that for our kids. So something you can do is plan an activity. Like if you work until 5 o'clock, can't get home, I understand that. But plan an activity. Like for you, you need to get out and move. You've been sitting at a desk all day for the most part. You know that for every 6 hours you sit, you take I think it's 7 years off your life if you do that consistently. Think about that. Like I don't want to take those years. I got a lot of living to do. I don't want the sitting and the inactivity to do that. So don't do that to your kids. Really put an environment together for them so they can thrive. That's a big, big deal and something really dear to my heart. We have to take care of our kids and provide that environment. So just create some kind of activity. Maybe you go out in the yard and throw baseball with them. Maybe you go outside and take a walk. You go ride bikes. You do something active with them. It's raining outside. Maybe you go take them somewhere and do something cool and fun. Go to the mall and walk around and buy them a little something. But get out and say, we're going to go walk. We're not going shopping. And then at the end of that, get them something for going with you. But you get them out and you walk. Talk to them about their day. Instead of sitting on the couch and talking to them about their day, do that in a walk. Go outside. Do something like that. Do something engaging with your kids so that you're being active and you're doing something that's beneficial for both of you and your health. That is a great way to go. Now, I'll tell you what, we're going to go to the phones in just a second. And make sure to call in, 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. We're going to go to that in just a minute. One of the things that is super important when it comes to your health, and I want to jump in and talk about, is the fact of the way that you eat at nighttime. This is a topic that I get hit with a lot. Should you eat your last meal at 6 o'clock and then fast until you go to sleep and until the next morning? For weight loss, that's kind of been an old adage, and they've said, oh, that's definitely the way to do it. My personal opinion is that I think it's good to eat before bed. That's just my own personal opinion for it all. I think you should eat before you go to bed because it does a couple of things, especially proteins and fats. You want to do proteins and fats before you go to bed because what that'll do is it will stabilize blood sugar while you sleep. It'll give you a steady form of the proteins are called amino acids, if you've never heard that name before. And the amino acids are really good because what they do is they'll stabilize your muscle tissue as you sleep. And stabilizing your muscle tissue as you sleep is a big deal. Like, you want to make sure that you're doing that, because as a person sleeps, that's when the body's repairing and regenerating, right? You've heard those terms. So you want to make sure you got the right kind of nutrients going in. Now, the fats help stabilize blood sugar too. But what I like about the fats, a little bit of fat in your body while you sleep, is it cuts down the release time. So whenever you eat fats, you slow down the digestion process. And when you do that, it's good, because, I mean, while you're sleeping, you want a steady flow of nutrients. Now, there's another theory that you don't want to do that you don't want to do it like that. You want to actually be fasting, and then you increase your growth hormone while you sleep, and your hormones can increase. Well, yeah, the growth hormone can increase if you do it that way, and that's an anti-aging benefit, no doubt. It increases longevity. But on the flip side is it increases cortisol heavily, and cortisol tears down muscle tissue and helps to store body fat. So there's a mechanism that you're working with both. So you kind of want, if you can do the protein and the fats, the reason that can work and still increase growth hormone is it doesn't impact blood sugar. The more you can stabilize blood sugar from doing anything, whether it goes up or down, the more you're going to increase the right kind of hormones. So I am a eat before you go to bed guy. And we teach that to our clients, our patients, and we teach that to everybody in our system, in our coaching system. So I'm a big fan of eating. I've done it, 20 years. I've eaten before I go to bed. And I used to eat the wrong things before I went to bed, for sure, especially when I was gaining a bunch of weight, powerlifting and bodybuilding. But now I eat the right kind of foods. Usually I eat eggs before I go to bed. That's kind of my go-to, because the choline helps your brain repair at night, and it's got fats in the yolk and protein in the egg, so you're getting a little bit of everything. It's a great time to eat eggs just before you go to bed. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Give us a call or go to that website. Go to asarx.com. If you haven't got Healthy University, you need to enroll. It is the premier course on how to live healthy. Like, you can read my book. That's great. That's an intro. But Healthy University is a deep dive. It will help you and your family more than anything. That's what I recommend to everybody. Now, coming up, I've got more questions about your health. Don't go anywhere. But I just want to dig in a little bit on the foundational 4. People ask me all the time, what supplements do I need on a regular basis? They're the foundational 4. This is what I've been preaching on forever. But you need these 4 supplements at your kitchen table, no matter what. Everybody in the family should be taking them, because these are the 4 nutrients that we do not get in our food. You got to have something to support all your vitamins and minerals. You've got to have something that will support the gut bacteria and the microbiome and the flora. Got to have something to hit the right kind of fatty acids, and you got to have something that will help to process and digest your foods. So these are the foundational 4. We have them on the website. Go to asarx.com and you can get those. But the foundational 4, that is the key. This is going to give you everything that you need that your food is not giving you. And let me tell you something. I don't care how organic the food is. We're still depleted and not getting what we need. We'll be right back.
Did you know that you can listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Connect with On Call Radio and watch On Call TV at InShapeNetwork.com.
Welcome back to the Asa Rx Experience. I'm Asa, here with you. So glad you're with us. Now, give us a call, 888-283-7272, or go online, go to asarx.com. All our social media at Asa Rx TV, at Asa Rx TV. If you want to join me, Instagram, YouTube, all those great platforms, we're on it every day for you, just to give you the help that you need. Whatever you're struggling with, we want to help you. We want to help you walk through it no matter what. Okay, let's get on the phones and go to Ron. Hi, Ron. Welcome.
Yeah. I'm a diabetic. Well, somewhat of a recent diabetic, maybe 2 years. And I notice when some people are diabetics, they gain weight, but it looks like I'm losing weight. And I don't know what's that really from. I watch what I do what they tell me, eat certain foods. But, I mean, does that happen a lot? Even if you're diabetic, you can lose a lot of weight?
Yeah, so here's the deal with that is with diabetes. Well, first of all, Ryan, let's reframe something, okay? Let's reframe what you call yourself. You're Ron, okay? So that's your name. You're not Ron the diabetic. You're not Ron the guy that has diabetes. You're just Ron. So you need to drop that concept of associating diabetes with you. Like you're not Ron. I don't like that. You're not, it's not Bill, the heart disease person. You're just Ron. You got a health challenge. It's called diabetes, okay? So the body's gotten to the point where it doesn't handle insulin well. That's all this is. That's all it is. So you got to come up with a new way of how to eat and how to do and how to give your body what it needs so it can function in the right way, right? So that's what we got to do. We got to focus on that and focus on getting your body working in the right way. How do you do that? All right, so the losing weight, gaining weight, whatever, those are all parts of diabetes. And, again, this is the not so fun part because there's issues with that. But to lose the weight or gain the weight, this is all about insulin management and blood sugar management in the body. This is what's going on with the pancreas. So the first things first is, remember, you got to get your gut right. If you want to get your health right, you start with your gut, right? That's number one. Get your health right, you got to start with the gut. Get your gut right, you'll get your health right. So with diabetes, what do? Obviously, that's an eating condition that your body's not getting what it needs. So you start with giving your body the right kind of fuel. And you got to eat with diabetes. You got to keep your blood sugar stabilized. That's the number one goal. So you're going to want to eat equal amounts of lean protein sources like chicken, fish, beef, or eggs, low glycemic carbohydrates in the form of fruits and veggies, and then good healthy fats, almonds, walnuts, cashews, avocados. Those healthy fats will make a tremendous difference in your goal. Because you can't, like with diabetes, you have to manage and get the right kind of nutrition in, or the whole thing's not going to work right. So you have to eat lean quality proteins and healthy fats and carbs at the same time, but they have to be the right kind. So that's what I would do is I'd focus on that and making sure you're getting about 5 to 6 meals spread out about every 3 hours throughout the day, and don't miss. Like no matter what you've got going on in your life and your lifestyle, don't miss. Like don't allow yourself to on these foods to skip meals or something. You can't do that. Your blood sugar depends on it. Like you have to focus in and do the right kind of foods on a regular basis. Super important. All right. Now, as far as what you drink, you're going to want to drink water and tea. Those are your two primaries. Unsweetened tea. You can add some stevia to it, monk fruit to it. But those are the drinks of choice that you want to do throughout the day. You can add lemon to the water and some stevia if you like lemonade. But don't do sugary drinks. Don't do fruit juices. For the most part, okay? Most fruit juices is just too much. You want to do the natural fruit in its original state, and that's the best way to do it. The other thing is to make sure that you get plenty of exercise. With diabetes, and again, losing weight is just about increasing calories. So you've got to figure out your macronutrients. And again, if you need help, there's a formula for that. And if you need help, our coaches, our health coach providers, they can do that for you. Okay, we've got a whole team of health coach providers that can help you. They're doctors and come from various specialties that can help you do that. We can balance out your macronutrients, your micronutrients, and get you going in the way you need to. But there's a formula for that. There's a reason. Don't ever let just going to the doctor and them saying, well, we don't see anything, and they send you home. Don't let that be the final answer. There has to be more than just that, okay? Because you need to have more than that done. And it's just a big deal. So I would encourage you along the way to make sure you do that. Now, go to Healthy University, and I would encourage you to enroll in that. Either that or get with one of our providers, because the losing weight thing is got to be corrected. Now, it could be a lot of things. I mean, there's things like chromium picolinate. There are supplements you can use. Vanadyl sulfate has been used in great results. Using cinnamon on your foods to stabilize blood sugar is another good tool. But there's a reason that you're losing weight, and a lot of times it can be in the microbiome in the gut. Getting that clear. Remember, the gut right, you get the health right, you get your gut right. Getting that clear is the first step. That's where I would start. I would start there first and then build a solid game plan from there, okay? But keep me posted on how it goes. I mean, we're here for you no matter what. Make sure your fluid intake is strong. Get some lab work done that will show what your different nutritional deficiencies are, the good levels, the bad levels, and everything in between. And also, it'll give you a roadmap. You don't ever build a house without a blueprint. The blood work is the blueprint. It gives you the roadmap of what's going on inside your body for the physiology, and then tests like x-rays and MRIs will give you the test that you need and the picture that you need of what's going on with the structural side of your body. So from a mobility perspective, you can get done whatever you need done. That is the ultimate key to your longevity and to you winning this game. Okay? That's the key. Nothing else. And just remember, it's what you do every single day now. I appreciate you following everything we talk about here on the show, but you got to have that roadmap and it be strategic, and we not just take bits and pieces. All right? Thanks so much for that call. Puts another hour in the charts. I want to thank our producers, Lyle Valentine, also Derek Allen, John Garrison, and the rest of the team. Go tell one person something you learned on the show. Together, we can transform the health of our friends, our families, and our communities. You're listening to the Asa Rx Experience, helping you reach your potential and become the best version of you.
Did you know you could listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
This episode is over, but check episode notes for links to products and services you've heard about on this episode. Thanks for listening and subscribing. Please share the Asa Rx audio experience with others and stay in touch by giving us your comment or review.